Hey guys, Holly here from Instructional Tech. We're here to talk about master slides within Google Slides. So you might be wondering, why? Why do I need to learn another skill in Google Slides? I've been using Google Slides for years and I've done fine up till now. And that's probably very true. However, master slides and layout slides can make a world of a difference in your life as a teacher and especially in your students' products that they create in Google Slides. So there's two reasons that I use master slides. The first one is it creates this background for students that is seemingly uneditable. There are a lot of extras when you're creating a space for students. There are extra text boxes, extra images, and backgrounds that students sometimes accidentally move or delete. Using your master slides eliminates that option for your students. Okay. It also creates a template of slides that students can choose from when working in slides. This helps students have a more cohesive workspace. It allows their presentations to be more cohesive, and it helps to model the skill of creating a certain look or feel in a presentation or a workspace. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into Google Slides and see where you can find your master slides, what are the layout slides, and how we can utilize them to make your students' work better. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. So a trick that I learned last month was that if you are looking to create a new slide, you could simply type in slides.new and it will automatically create a new Google Slides for you right inside of your Google Drive. Then right up here from the top, we can go ahead and rename this Google slide just so that it has a name. You don't want a whole bunch of untitled presentations clogging up your drive. So we'll call this Master Slides. And then from there, I can instantly put it into a folder. So here I have a move button. I'm going to just move it into a folder so it's already organized so I don't have to worry about getting it organized later. All right, so my document is ready to go. You can see over here, themes always pops up, so you can pick a different theme. And in doing this, what you're doing is selecting a different set of layouts in a different master slide. So for example, the one that I'm usually always on is this white one called Simple Light. And then when I go to add a slide, I have all these different layouts that I can choose from. Now, if I change that theme, then my layouts are going to change as well. So what our job is today is to create our own set of layouts for our assignment. So I'm going to start with white because I think that's an easy one to start with. And then I'm going to go ahead and view my master slide and my layout slides. Now to do this, you go to the view menu and you simply go to master. I know that I'm within my master slides when I have this black outline of my slides available for me. Okay, you'll notice this top one here says master. And then everything under that says is a layout. Those are the different options we have to choose from when we push this caret here next to the add a new slide. Okay. There's one main difference between a master slide and layout slides. And that is when you change something on a master slide, it changes for every layout that you have. Okay. The only time I really mess with my master is when I'm going to change this background. So I'll go ahead and make a background choice. Maybe I want my layout to have kind of this muted blue color. And then I'll change my font so that when you add a text box and you have students add text, that the font is consistent throughout. So I'm going to change the body paragraphs, and I already changed the titles. There we go. So now you'll see if I click through these layout slides, every slide now has those fonts in that background color. So that's your master slide. Anything you add to the slide will be added to every other slide. Let me real quick add just a shape so you can see that in action. Watch the layout slides as I add this triangle. Instantly, they all have that triangle. Okay, so that's what that looks like. These right here, you cannot change the text. So even if I double click and try to type, nothing happens. That's because it's a placeholder. So if students were to open one of these slides, they would just click here and they could instantly change that text. So that's why you are not able to edit those words. You can, however, on your layout slides, put in text boxes. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So I'm going to delete these placeholder text boxes because I don't need those for my students. Maybe I wanted to create something that had Monday across the top so that every Monday they could open up a new slide that said Monday. Maybe this is where we would do our journaling. So I could add a text box, type in Monday. I'm going to go ahead and change that font. I'm going to make it larger. That looks nice. Sometimes so I can make sure it's centered in the slide, I just make the text box go all the way to the end. It won't impact students at all because students won't be able to edit this text box. So I'll center it and center it with the text box. And maybe move it up. All right, so now I have Monday across the top. Maybe I want to add, sometimes I like to add like a darker background behind the heading. So I'm going to add a shape. And just drag it from that corner to that corner. I try to wait till I get that red line. The red line means that you are right on the edge. Okay, so I'm going to change the color. I have a fill option here. I'm going to push the fill color. Now my background is this blue. So any of these blues in this column would be a good match for that blue. So I'm going to pick a dark version. Yeah, I think that looks nice. I'm going to change the border color. Maybe I'll have it actually be transparent so there's no border. Let's see that I'm not quite to that edge yet. Sometimes I just go a little bit over even if there. Okay, so now I need this to go into the back. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to order and I'm going to send it backwards so that the text will be in front. There it is. So all I did was move that shape behind the text box. I'm going to change that color of Monday because I'm not sure I like the black on the blue. There, I think that looks nice. All right, so I've created this one layout slide. Let's go ahead back into our regular slides and see what that looks like. So to exit master, you simply push this X right here in the corner. If I want to go add a slide, there's Monday. I've got my Monday slide ready that I could add it. Every single Monday they could add a Monday slide. Let's go back into the master and do some more changes. So I don't really need these other ones, right? I just need Monday through Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all of them. I'm doing this by holding down the shift key and just arrowing down. And then I'm going to push delete on my keyboard. So now the only layout I have is Monday. Again, if I came back here, I want to go add a slide. It's the only option students can add. All right, let's duplicate this. I'm going to right click on it again and push duplicate layout. And now I'm going to call this one Tuesday. And I'm going to continue to duplicate until I have all days of the week. All right, let's take a look at what this looks like for our slides. When I go to add a slide, here they are. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Notice they all have a label. Title slide 1, title slide 1. When you duplicate a layout, it simply puts a 1 at the end. So let's go ahead and rename those so it makes more sense for students. So we'll head it back into our master, and you can rename this slide up here at the top. It says simple light, because that's the white template I started with, and then title slide. So I'm going to rename that, and I'm going to rename this Monday, and I'm going to rename the rest of my slides. Okay, all my slides are renamed. Let me show you what it does, however, when I go to add a new slide. Get out of my master slides. Notice it says Monday, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, they are not in order, and so we can get them into order by putting something in front of the title. So in front of Monday, I'm going to put a 0, 1. Now the reason I put a 0, 1 is because it's going to go in numerical order. So it'll put these into Monday through Friday. But if I had more than 9 slides and then I wanted to have slide 10, that would have to come after slide 1. So by putting that 0 in the front, you're set to make 99 slides and they can go in numerical order. So I'm going to go ahead and put those numbers in the front now. All right, let's see what it looks like now when I open up a new slide. There they are, numerical order, so we've got Monday through Friday. If you're following along and trying to do this live with me, now is a great time to pause the video and go ahead and try this on your own, and then come back to the video when you're done. All right, so let's go ahead and back into our master slides and see what else we can do. So maybe every day I want my students to write in this as a journal. And so maybe I'm going to have 2 places for them to write. I'm going to have their prompt that they're going to respond to, and then just a free journaling space. Let's go ahead and add some text boxes so our students know where they can put their writing. So I'm going to insert a text box right up here, but instead of choosing text box, I'm going to choose a placeholder. So I'm going to do a body text placeholder, and I want it to fill up about half this screen. Okay, notice it has these bullets. This is not something you can erase. This is simply so that you can change the font for each level of writing. So when you have in the first bullet or your first level, you'll have this font. But if I wanted the second font to be something different, I could change that. Okay, I usually always just leave them the same. When students go to open this slide and add this slide, they're not going to see these words. They're just going to say, hey, put your text here. Okay, so I'm going to have another text box. I'm going to copy and paste. There we go. So now they have 2 text boxes. Let's go ahead and close out and see if we like what that looks like. It instantly adds those text boxes. I like their spacing. I think they look nice. There's a few things I would change. This one's very close to the edge, and this one has a big gap over here. And then the one over here on the right is a little bit lower. So I'm going to go ahead back and fix that, and then add those text boxes to my other slides. To make sure that it's even with all my slides, I simply copy and paste. So I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to copy both of them at one time, and then simply paste them onto my other slides so it's always consistent. Notice that now that I have all of my slides, Monday through Friday, look consistent. It shows students what it looks like to have a consistent theme. And it helps you have more control because students can continue to use this slide, and they can only choose from the slides that you've created. Also notice that as I'm clicking on here, there is nothing I can do to grab Monday. I can't grab that. I can't move that. This background I can't do anything with. The only thing they can do is they can move placeholder text boxes. So they could always delete those if they didn't need them, or resize them to fit what they need on the slide. All right, let's hop on and see what it looks like to use this in practice for a few different activities. The first activity I want to show you is a graphic organizer template. So in this template, when students go to add a new slide, they have 7 options here of graphic organizers they can use. So let's go ahead and pull one up. We'll pull up the timeline. Notice I left space for a teacher to add directions to the top. And then we have these different places where students can add text. Okay, we're going to make this even a little bit better by going into the master and already adding the text boxes for students. Notice the boxes are pretty small. So when we go to add our text box, we're going to want to make sure that our font is a pretty small size as well. So let's go into view, go into our master. It automatically opens me up to the slide that I'm on, which is really nice. And I'm going to insert that placeholder and put body text. I'm going to resize this box so that it fits. Okay, this is the size box my students are going to see. You're going to notice when I let go of my mouse click, it's not going to look nice instantly. Ready? Ooh, see, it's not looking great. Okay, that is normal, and students will not see that. However, this first level text, that's the size of the font that's going in this box. I think that's probably too big. So I select all. That's why it scrolled me down. It showed you where this went. I went Control or Command A to select all of it. And I'm just going to enter a smaller text size. I think size 10, that might be a little too small. Maybe 12 would be more realistic. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this text box into every one of these squares. All right, let's go ahead and close out of master slides and see what that looks like. It should automatically update on our slide that we have available. Look at that. Click to add text. There's already a text box, resized with the correct size font. Imagine how much time this would save students. Also, think of the students who wouldn't take the time to adjust the text, right? They would just write anywhere they wanted over that box. Okay, as a teacher, this is much easier to look at and to assess work than work that the text is all over in that box. So simply by adding these placeholder text boxes, you're already helping students be more successful with your template. Take a look at another idea. This next one is a reading and writing responses. I only have 6 response options in here. So imagine a student is reading a text independently, and then every day after they're done reading, they are to go in and do a reading or writing response. Okay, you could create those reading and writing responses ahead of time and have them loaded up into a template. Here I have 6 options. I have 3 reading responses and 3 writing responses. Notice my reading responses are blue, so they're color-coded, so it's easy for students to see, where my writing responses are purple, and they each also have directions on every slide. So let's open up one just to take a look. So a student would open this, they're like, all right, writing a summary, here's the directions, here's where I write my work. Okay, maybe the next day they want to do a summary again. Well, guess what? That slide is right there for them. If you would have created this within your normal slides, not in the master, students would have responded here. And then if they wanted to do a summary again, they would have to duplicate this slide. They would have to delete these words. Maybe they'd accidentally delete the text box. What if they deleted the directions and they want to do a summary again, but the directions are gone, right? Because it's in master slides, it is very easy for students to redo this skill if they want to redo it again. Okay, so I can see this being loaded up with maybe 9 options for reading responses and 9 options for writing responses, and having students just continuing to be able to build on this reading and response notebook really that they're creating. Another option would be something like a learning gallery. So this learning gallery includes a lot of links, and it's got a lot of background. This one's kind of fancy. I found this one on SlidesMania, which I can share with you in a little bit. But all of these boxes and squares were already loaded in for me. I just had to add my personal touches. So I took this and I created something for Black History Month. So I added some icons and the correct images. Now, most of this is created within master slides. So this read aloud is actually a button, but students cannot push that button because it's created in master slides. So nothing here is editable for our students. If they go into present mode, which is how I would share it with them, I would share it to them straight in present mode. They can click read alouds, and they can get to the read aloud that they want to listen to with that video embedded right there. They could go to novels, and they could learn about Christopher Paul Curtis's novels. Okay, so because they are links embedded through the master slides, when they're in present mode, those links work. Let me go ahead and escape out of this. I did mention something. I said I shared it to them directly in present mode. So let me real quick show you just how to do that. So when you go to share, you always get a link, right? We're able to get this link here. So I'm going to copy that link. And when I paste it in, if I delete everything after that edit and I put in preview, it automatically opens up in present mode. Students cannot go back and access this in the live version. There's no way for them to, I don't believe there's a way for them to escape. I'm trying to push all my buttons. So this is simply a live version of the present mode that they can access. So that's just a little quick tip. Delete everything after edit and put preview. All right. Another option here is a Smeckens reading notebook that I've created. So if you were to create a new notebook for students, and maybe you wanted them to add a slide with their own information, right? But you wanted the look to be the same. So this is a template that I found also on SlidesMania that I've just adapted for my needs. You can see here I have all their slides include a video and then some work that they need to do. But maybe our students after lesson 2 wanted to add a page. Maybe you did an activity with them and you wanted them to add that to their notebook. Okay, I would want them to add that to a page that looks just like this, right? Without any of these things here. So to do that, they've created in the master slides blank pages for students. So here we're in a voices lesson, so I could do voices. And now I have this blank page with already text boxes formatted, ready for students to either type in their notebook or even to import a picture of their work. Or maybe they screenshotted something that they created. Maybe they did a quick video they want to put in, an audio file. Okay, this is a great way to have students add information to something you've already created while still keeping that same look and format. Okay, go ahead and delete those extra pages. Here we go. So this one for the master slides, the only thing that's created in the master is that front page, the cover and the back, and then all of the backgrounds. It's simply the buttons and the backgrounds, and then to make it look like a notebook. Everything else was put in just like you normally would. I put in a video, and the reason I did that here is because I don't want students to have to be in present mode like they needed to be in Black History Month, because they're going to be writing in it. I want them to be able to watch this video and then go right here into this box and start writing. And so I put it all into the live version instead of in the master slides. So in the last 2 templates, I've mentioned SlidesMania. SlidesMania is a free site that gives out templates for teachers to use and also for people to use in businesses and for personal reasons. So I use SlidesMania when I'm trying to find a template that I want students to work with for a while. And because the length of time it takes to edit a template, I want it to be something that is going to last, right? It's going to last maybe a week-long project. It might not be something I use just for a day, but they are really nice templates that you can look at and modify. So this is what the site looks like when you start. I'm just going to go ahead and push show all so we can see all of the templates so you have an idea of what there is to offer. As I scroll down, you'll see that there are tons of templates that you can use and modify. Students can work on making a yearbook. You can make a cookbook. They have some really cool things like a learning app where the buttons, when you're in present mode, the buttons all link to one another, so it looks kind of like an app that students are using or creating. So I'm just going to grab one just so we can kind of jump in and see what it looks like. So this one's called Happy Spring. I haven't spent time in this one, but it's really pretty, so let's go ahead and grab it. As I scroll down, it gives you an option to open it in Slides or download for PowerPoint. So I'm going to open it in Google Slides. And then there's always this button at the top that says Use Template. And what this is going to do is going to make you a direct copy of this template into your Google Drive. So I'm going to push Use Template, and it should load into my Google Drive. Okay, so what SlidesMania does is it does create some backgrounds for students that's consistent with the theme. So if I push that caret for the arrow down to add a new slide, you'll see that there are options that are going to match the look and feel of this template. See how these are consistent with the look, okay? But they also have created some idea slides that gives you ideas of how you could use these slides. I think they are a really great way just to kind of inspire what you could do with the slides. Wow, I didn't stay on that one long enough. That is so cool. What a great timeline. It's beautiful. All right, so this is just an idea of where you might get something that kind of can save you a little bit of time. Just like always, you can go to View Master and you can hop in and change those master slides so that it could fit your needs. So maybe I wanted to use this background, but I wanted to use it for students. It doesn't have to be a setup like their setup. They have it set as an agenda. This could be anything. You could add those placeholder text boxes for your students. So if you're looking at a place to start, SlidesMania is a great way to jump in with something that's already started that you can just edit. So that's all I've got for today. So thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them below in the comments. I also have links below for you so that you can access some of the resources that we talked about today. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.